The final shape is here, and that means there are new goodies to be had, one of which is the new sword Ergo Sum. This is an extremely unique sword for a few different reasons, one being it is a special ammo sword, but there is so much more to this weapon, which we're going to go over, and it's mostly of its entirety and how to get it and how to farm it in just a minute. But consider subscribing, as there's a lot to cover over the next few weeks. Like the video so the algorithm can push this to people who are maybe interested, and of course comment what you are most excited about when it comes to this sword and the future when it comes to the episodes that we're going to be getting into next week. So let's get right into this video. Before we go any further, this is a quest that is after the Final Shape campaign, which means this may contain spoilers. So if you haven't beaten it, I recommend you click away from this video, go beat it, and come back if you want to see about how to get this sword and what it can do. Once you finish the last mission and view the final cutscene, you will end up at the tower inside the Pale Heart, and your ghost will have the mission Destined Heroes. This will have you helping our allies and fighting old foes inside the Pale Heart, and you'll even get the last few prismatic abilities you are missing. All these missions are very easy and fairly quick, so we won't be going over them. Once you've done all those quest steps, you'll be given your prize Ergo Sum. And this sword is very unique. It is an energy sword, meaning it goes in our energy slot and uses special ammo. The other thing that makes it unique and very cool in my opinion is that it can roll exotic traits based off of other exotic weapons. Mine, for example, rolled with Polaris Lance's perk, the Perfect Fifth, and we'll go over all the exotic perks that it can roll in just a moment because there's even more to this sword. It has the unique trait Transcendent Duelist. This weapon collects less ammo. Final blows with this weapon accelerate light and darkness mastery, deals increased damage while transcendent, and defeating targets lengthens your transcendence. Plays very heavily into prismatic, which makes a lot of sense. It can also have different elemental types. I assume it's related to the exotic perk it gets because I got Polaris Lance's perk that is a solar weapon and my sword rolled as a solar weapon. This sword can also come as different frames. This means it can be an aggressive frame, a vortex frame, a caster frame, a wave frame, or a lightweight frame sword, giving you so many options to go for. Whatever role you want, you can potentially get. Now, returning to the exotic perks it can roll, we have Insectoid Robot Grenades. Defeated targets drop insectoid robots that chase and explode close to other targets. This is based off of the colony's exotic trait. We have Unplanned Reprieve. Powered heavy attacks emit projectiles that detonate with a delayed void blast. This is based off of Telesto's exotic perk, and I can't wait to see if this breaks the game in the same way that Telesto normally does. We have Stormbringer. Rapid final blows create a lightning storm at the target's location. This is based off of Cloudstrike's exotic perk. Arc Conductor. Powered heavy attacks charge the wielder, enabling them to resist arc damage and chain lightning to nearby targets. This is based off of Risk Runner's exotic perk. The Perfect Fifth. Every 5 hits attach a delayed solar explosive, scorching your target. This is based off of Polaris Lance's exotic perk. This is the one that I have, and it is actually pretty fun. Sacred Flame. Powered heavy attacks mark nearby targets, causing them to explode upon death. Striking marked targets with a light attack detonates them. This is based off of Tiku's Divination's exotic perk. Gathering Light. Final blows with this weapon grant stacks of Gathering Light, improving guard stats and lunge range. Stowing this weapon consumes all stacks, granting melee, grenade, and class ability energy. This is based off of Traveler's Chosen's exotic perk. And finally, we have Wolfpack rounds. Powered heavy attacks cause nearby sword wielders to emit tracking missiles with every attack. This is based off of Gjallarhorn's exotic perk, and this is the one I want because it sounds absolutely ridiculous. Just imagine going into Crota, using this sword with Wolfpack rounds, smacking him once with the heavy attack, and then just watching all of your bequest wielding homies just go to town on him with these little missiles that get launched out. It's going to be absolutely insane. With so many different options for you to farm, you must be wondering how you can get different versions of this weapon. Well, there are 2 ways to do so. First is by completing your Pathfinder in the Pale Heart. These objectives aren't really that hard, and they show up on your map so you can track them, making it even easier. This gives 2 rolls of Ergo Sum, and I assume this resets weekly with the Pathfinder system. It's a very easy, very easy way for you to get 2 rolls of the sword and maybe even get the one you want. The other way is by completing the overthrow activity in a certain region of the Pale Heart. Overthrow just has you going around that section of the map and defeating targets and doing public event style activities to increase the threat of that area, and you will eventually summon a boss to fight, and then once you fight that boss you'll get your rewards, and I assume that's when you're going to get the drop of your sword. I believe you can farm the sword over and over again with this method. However, just be mindful when you do summon that boss, you're gonna have to wait 5 minutes before the next overthrow activity starts. Overall, I think this sword is going to be insanely fun with all the different things we can do with it. I feel bad for bosses like, for example, like I mentioned earlier, Crota, who is just going to be absolutely melted by this sword when it comes to like a whole team running bequests, their god roll bequests, and then one person running this sword with Wolfpack rounds. I think is going to be absolutely hilarious, and I cannot wait to see the crazy things people are going to do with it. Of course, the other perks on this sword are really cool, and I want to try them. Like, for example, getting Arc Conductor on this sword is going to be really fun. Of course, there are a ton of artifact mods this season that also play into swords. So again, this sword has a ton of potential, and I honestly can't wait to just get the god roll one that I want and try it out, use it in Grandmasters, use it in raids, use it wherever, just to see what this sword can really do and what this sword is really, truly, honestly capable of. Again, super fun. Hope everybody gets what they want. Now, this is going to be a shorter video, so please once again consider subscribing to help me and the channel out, as again helps me out a ton. We're still growing. There's a lot to see when it comes to the final shape. I want to keep making videos. I want to keep showing people good content, so subscribing helps out the channel an absolute ton. Of course, like the video to help the algorithm be like, hey, this is actually good content. People who are in this realm maybe want to see it. Again, that also helps me out a ton, more than you could ever imagine. And of course, comment down below what you are most excited for when it comes to this sword, what you liked about the final shape. Do not leave spoilers in there because some people haven't completed it yet. And what you're most excited about when it comes to the episode that we're going to get after the raid and the final mission next week. So with all that being said, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.